What's going on, guys? So this is the last day I'll have this Toyota Land Cruiser, and I want to give you guys my overall impression of this vehicle. First of all, from a comfort perspective, this is by far the most comfortable and smoothest riding SUV I have ever been in. I would honestly compare it more to a luxury car than a luxury SUV. It just rides amazingly smooth. You really don't feel bumps. You don't feel imperfections in the road like you might. I ran over some really big potholes the other day, and it handled them like I was hitting a small bump in the road. It was truly an exceptional ride. Also, the power that this 5.7-liter V8 puts down is amazing. From an acceleration perspective, from a torque perspective, it simply has an excessive amount of power, and it definitely gives you confidence when you're going over different types of terrain, or even if you're simply merging onto or off of an expressway. 381 horsepower, 401 pound-feet of torque, in a package that really can be defined with one word: reliable. You get into a Land Cruiser, instantly you know you're getting into a vehicle that you're not going to have to worry about. You're not going to wonder if it's going to break down on you. You're not going to wonder if you're going to have any kind of mechanical issues. It's simply designed, built, and executed perfectly. And it sounds amazing. It just has so much get up and go that you really feel like you're in a vehicle that has a much more powerful engine than what it has. The 5.7 liter is really an amazing engine. I think they've nailed it. I had an opportunity to take this vehicle out to the beach yesterday and spend some time driving through some pretty thick sand. If any of you know, sand is about the hardest type of material to drive over, simply because the deeper it gets, the harder it pushes back on your vehicle, the more force, and really it's very easy to get stuck in sand, even if you have a very lifted vehicle with very big tires, which this SUV definitely does not. So down here in Corpus Christi by the water, we don't have rocks, we don't have mountains, we don't really even have hills. What we do have is sand. Sand is one of the more difficult things to drive through. Now, if you look at the left side of the vehicle, the sand's fairly well compacted down. The city does a good job of maintaining that, so all these vehicles, even two-wheel drive vehicles, would have no problem driving on the portion closer to the water. And as the tide goes in and out, it also kind of compacts the sand. However, on the right side, the sand is completely loose and soft. It's like a fine powder. And it's very easy to get stuck if you're not in a four-wheel drive vehicle, or even if you're in a four-wheel drive vehicle but don't necessarily know how to handle sand. This SUV handles sand exceptionally well, and I don't even have any type of really aggressive tires on it. The tires that are on here are very much a street all-terrain tire, and other than feeling the vehicle kind of slosh around a little bit, you don't feel that concern of the vehicle actually getting stuck. It just goes straight through. There's no wheel hop. It takes it in stride. And it's really amazing that you can have that level of comfort and security and reassurance in a Land Cruiser going over conditions that even the F-250 that I had, which was an FX4 with some really beefy Nitto Trail Grappler tires, didn't feel secure in. Like right here. It just handles it like it's nothing. You feel completely confident in this SUV's ability to go through soft sand. Yeah, it's like it's stuck to the ground like tape. I mean, it really, really is doing a great job. This is definitely a vehicle that I think most people could see themselves in, mainly because the Land Cruiser has always been synonymous with reliability, with comfort, off-road prowess, capabilities, and confidence. And I think when you look at all the dynamics that you get with one of these vehicles, it really goes to show why people are willing to pay as much as they do for them, both as a new vehicle and a pre-owned vehicle. This SUV is about a $90,000 SUV after tax, tag, and title. But even on the pre-owned market, finding a 10-year-old version of this or a 12-year-old version of this with 100,000 miles that's under $30,000 is going to be very difficult. And that's because the market demands it. It's not because Toyota feels that's how much this vehicle should sell for as a pre-owned vehicle. It's because people that want this vehicle know how desirable it is, but more importantly, how reliable it is. And I think that's the key. The Land Cruiser has a huge following. Whether you're a fan of the older body styles or you're a fan of the new one, most people can really appreciate what you get in this type of a vehicle. A lot of people call it a reliable Range Rover. Range Rovers have a ton of capabilities and features to help them reliably navigate off-road conditions, but they've never really been synonymous with reliability. If you get a Range Rover, you're taking a risk that even though you have a very capable vehicle, it may not be the most reliable vehicle. I think people that opt for a Land Cruiser are probably that same customer that might look for a Range Rover or a Land Rover, but they want a vehicle that they know is going to hold up, that's going to be super reliable, and it's going to give them an excessive amount of capabilities. If you get one of these and you convert it into an overland vehicle, you have yourself one hell of a vehicle. You know, there's a lot of folks out there that would look at a Land Cruiser and simply say it's a luxury item. It's designed to go to the shopping mall, or it's designed to go to the grocery store. It's not really a vehicle that is designed to truly go off-road, or people that own them don't really go off-road with them. And that may be true for a percentage of people that buy this vehicle, but you could argue and say that the Land Cruiser is not the most attractive SUV on the market. Many people would argue that an Expedition or a Navigator or a Cadillac Escalade or a Range Rover or a number of other vehicles are better looking vehicles than the Land Cruiser. A lot of people that get the Land Cruiser understand that it's a vehicle designed with off-road in mind. It's a vehicle designed for people who are going to go on expeditions or people who are going to be out in the middle of nowhere and they need a reliable form of transportation. This has so many great features, from the ability for it to automatically disconnect your sway bar to the crawl modes, several crawl modes, as well as it being an all-time four-wheel drive vehicle, and all you do is select whether you want it in 4 high or 4 low. Plus, the ability for you to lock your differentials. You have so many off-road features that are just baked into this SUV. It's interesting because I read recently that SOCOM, or Special Operations Command, has actually approved the Land Cruiser for various Special Operations forces. This vehicle is now an option for Navy SEALs, Delta Force operators, as well as other branches of Special Operations to now use this vehicle in combat situations, which is another testament to just how much they trust this vehicle already. What's interesting to note about the Land Cruiser is that it is actually the vehicle of choice for many diplomatic security forces, as well as special operations groups throughout the world, ambassador security convoys. It is truly a vehicle that has been adopted by many, many agencies as the go-to vehicle for a reliable, safe, and capable platform. A really nice feature that Toyota built into this is just the visibility out of the windows. If you look at the windows on the side, the back, everything on this vehicle, they're very tall, very easy to look out of and see what's around you. And that's very important for all sorts of different environments you may be operating this vehicle in. You know, I may have to try to convince my wife to make this her next vehicle. Anyways, guys, as we wrap up this video, I want to remind you, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, turn on notifications, and I will talk to you again soon.